Most people completely misunderstand what it actually takes to register a company in Mauritius, and because of that misunderstanding, they either assume it is only for large offshore investors, or they rush into it thinking it is a simple formality, only to discover a structured legal system that demands precision, planning, and the right setup from the very beginning. And here's the surprising truth. Mauritius is one of the most strategically designed business jurisdictions in the world for international entrepreneurs, especially those looking for tax efficiency, global market access, and stable regulatory frameworks, but it only works in your favor if you understand how the system is actually built. Now imagine this. Michael, a 37-year-old entrepreneur from Miami, runs a growing online consulting business. He helps companies optimize digital operations and manage remote teams. Business is good, but he has started thinking bigger. He wants a legal base outside the United States, somewhere stable, internationally recognized, and tax efficient. While researching global company structures, he keeps seeing Mauritius mentioned. A small island nation. Politically stable. Strong treaty network. Attractive tax structure for international companies. And a reputation as one of Africa's most advanced financial centers. At first, Michael thinks it might be too complex or too offshore heavy for a normal entrepreneur like him. But the more he reads, the more interesting it becomes. And then he tries to actually understand how to register a company there. And that is where confusion begins. He encounters terms like Global Business Company, Financial Services Commission, Registered Agent Requirements, Tax Residency Certificates, and Substance Rules. And suddenly what looked like a simple offshore setup turns into something much more structured. And this is exactly where most people stop. But what Michael doesn't realize yet is that Mauritius is not a chaotic offshore zone. It is a highly regulated, internationally compliant financial jurisdiction designed for legitimate global business structuring. And once you understand how it works, the process becomes surprisingly logical. And that is exactly what we are going to break down in this guide. Step by step. Clearly. Practically. In a way that makes everything feel simple, even if you have no prior experience with offshore company formation. But here's where things get interesting. Before you even talk about registering an LLC in Mauritius, you need to understand something fundamental. Mauritius does not typically use the term LLC the same way countries like the United States do. Instead, the most common structure for international entrepreneurs is the Global Business Company, often referred to as GBC. This is the structure used for cross-border trade, international consulting, investment holding, and global services. And here's the key idea most beginners miss. Mauritius is not trying to offer secrecy or shortcuts. It is offering legitimacy with tax efficiency under strict compliance rules. Now this is where Sarah enters the story. Sarah is a cross-border tax and company structuring consultant who helps entrepreneurs build international entities. She meets Michael after he spends days trying to understand conflicting information online. Michael is overwhelmed. Some sources talk about low tax rates. Others emphasize strict substance requirements. Some mention double taxation treaties. Others warn about regulatory scrutiny. And Sarah tells him something that changes everything. You are not setting up a shortcut. You are building a compliant international structure. Once you understand the framework, everything becomes predictable. And that is the turning point. Because Mauritius company formation follows a very structured legal system governed by the Financial Services Commission, often referred to as the FSC. And once you understand that system, everything starts to make sense. But here's the first major reality check Michael faces. You cannot just register a company in Mauritius and immediately benefit from its tax system. You must qualify through structure, documentation, and substance requirements. At first, Michael feels a bit discouraged. But Sarah explains it clearly. This is not about barriers. It is about legitimacy. Mauritius wants real businesses, not shell structures. And that changes how Michael sees everything. Because now he understands the goal is not just incorporation. It is qualification. And that leads to the first step. Choosing the company type. In Mauritius, the most common structure for international entrepreneurs is the Global Business Company, which is designed for non-resident operations and cross-border activity. This structure allows companies to benefit from Mauritius' network of double taxation treaties, which can reduce tax exposure on international income if properly structured. But here's where things get more interesting. To form a GBC, you need a licensed management company in Mauritius. This is mandatory. You cannot directly register everything on your own. And this is where many entrepreneurs get confused. Michael initially assumes he can just submit documents online. But Sarah stops him. In Mauritius, licensed intermediaries are part of the system. They ensure compliance from the start. And that is the first major structural difference. So Michael works with a licensed management company to begin the process. And now, the next step begins. Company name approval. Like most jurisdictions, Mauritius requires name reservation before incorporation. Michael tries a name like Global Digital Wealth Solutions International. But the management company advises caution. In Mauritius, clarity and professionalism matter more than marketing language. So he simplifies the name. And it gets submitted for approval. And now comes a key curiosity loop. Because while waiting for approval, Michael learns something critical. Mauritius is not just about tax efficiency. It is about substance. And substance rules are one of the most important parts of the system. At first, this sounds vague. But Sarah breaks it down. Substance means real presence. Real decision-making. Real administration. The company cannot exist only on paper. And that is where things become serious. Because Mauritius requires companies to demonstrate economic activity, local administration support, or approved management structures depending on classification, Michael starts to realize something important. This is not passive offshore setup. This is active compliance structuring. And that changes his mindset. But here's where things get even more interesting. Once the name is approved, incorporation documents must be prepared. These include shareholder details, director appointments, business activity descriptions, and compliance declarations. And this is where precision matters more than speed. Because Mauritius is highly regulated by international standards, including anti-money laundering and transparency frameworks. Michael carefully defines his business structure. He appoints himself as shareholder and works with a nominated director through the management company. And this is another key insight. In many Mauritius structures, at least one director may need to meet residency or qualification requirements depending on setup. And this is where expert guidance becomes essential. But here's the next critical step. Application is submitted to the Financial Services Commission through the licensed agent. And this is where the review process begins. Now here's where emotional tension builds again. Because approvals are not instant. The FSC reviews documentation carefully, ensuring compliance with international standards. And Michael enters a waiting period. But instead of stress, Sarah reframes it. This is not delay. This is due diligence. You are being validated as a legitimate international structure. And that mindset helps Michael stay focused. And then something important happens. Approval is granted. The global business company is officially registered in Mauritius. And for a moment, everything feels complete. But here's where most people misunderstand the process. Registration is only the first layer. Because Mauritius has a second critical phase. Tax residency and substance compliance. This is where companies may apply for tax residency certificates, which are essential for accessing treaty benefits. And this requires proof of real business activity, local administration, and compliance alignment. And this is where Emily enters the story. Emily is another entrepreneur who registered an offshore company in a different jurisdiction and assumed tax benefits applied automatically. But later she discovered that without proper residency certification and substance compliance, her tax advantages were limited. And that mistake cost her time and restructuring effort. Michael takes that lesson seriously. He ensures his structure is properly aligned from the beginning. But here's where things get even more practical. Banking is the next major step. Opening a corporate bank account for a Mauritius company requires full documentation, proof of structure, business plans, compliance details, and sometimes interviews with compliance officers. And this is where many entrepreneurs feel stuck again. But Sarah explains something important. Banks are not obstacles. They are filters. They want clarity, not speed. Nelly. Done. Done way. And that becomes Michael's guiding principle. So instead of rushing, he prepares thoroughly. And slowly, everything aligns. Company formation. Substance planning. Tax structuring. Banking readiness. Compliance documentation. Each step builds on the previous one. And what once felt like an offshore maze starts to feel like a structured international system. But here's the deeper insight most people never fully understand. Mauritius is not designed for secrecy or shortcuts. It is designed for globally compliant, treaty-accessible business structures that meet international standards, while offering tax efficiency. And once you understand that, everything changes. Now imagine Michael, one final time. A few months later, he is running his consulting business through his Mauritius global business company. He is working with international clients, managing cross-border contracts, and operating within a fully compliant tax-efficient structure. What once felt like a complex offshore system now feels like a strategic global business platform. And that is the identity shift. From confused entrepreneur to structured international operator. From uncertainty to global clarity. But before we finish, there is one final question. What mistakes do most people make when registering a company in Mauritius? And the answer is consistent. They assume it is a simple offshore shortcut. They ignore substance requirements. They underestimate compliance obligations. And they try to bypass licensed intermediaries. But now you understand something most beginners do not. Mauritius is not a loophole. It is a system. And when you follow that system correctly, it becomes one of the most powerful international business structures available today. So if you are considering forming a company in Mauritius, the most important takeaway is this. Build with structure. Respect compliance. Focus on legitimacy. Because once you do, you unlock access to a globally respected, tax-efficient, and strategically positioned business environment. And what once looked complicated becomes a gateway to international opportunity. If you found this guide helpful and want more deep practical breakdowns of global business setups like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand these systems, the more confidently you can move through global opportunities that most people never even attempt. And now, you are no longer looking at Mauritius as an offshore mystery. You are seeing it as a structured, compliant gateway to global business expansion. And that changes everything.